Hi everyone, my name is Winnie Sidharta. I'm a painter based in Queens, New York. I was honored to be selected as the juror for the 2021 Annual Students Exhibition at Texas Christian University. I thoroughly enjoyed selecting works that so many of you submitted. Over 20 artists have been chosen for the exhibition, and 7 of you will receive awards in one of 6 categories. All works can be viewed through the online exhibition at Texas Christian University's Artsy page. If you did not receive an award or were not included in the exhibition, I would like to encourage you to continue applying for these kinds of opportunities in the future. It is an important part of developing your practice. I was very impressed by the level of experimentations and the wide range of materials used. The diversity of subject matter also enriched the quality of the overall submission. So let's move on to announce the award winners for the annual students exhibition. The first category is Best in Show, and this award goes to Corey Thompson. Congratulations. Um, I really love the work. This is actually a drawing called "The Sky Is Yours and Always Will Be." Um, the first thing that struck me when I see the work is the quality of lighting. It's very intimate, and also there's this sense of duration that happens reflected through the amount of time that Corey spent in rendering this drawings. The result is very cinematic, and I really like that the details. You can see the graphite renderings as well, and the focus and the intention put into it. It's really beautiful drawing. It's almost transport me to this space, to this certain light and time of the day, a flicker of light in the window that I really admire. Also, there's a sense of like saturation that happens through the build up layers of graphite and rendering. So I really appreciate that. The second award category is called Societé Anonyme, and it goes to Madeline Ortega. So Madeline's work titled Residuals, and it's a beautiful photograph of dead flowers on top of a textured ground. This work to me looks both beautiful and fragile. The presence of texture is especially wonderful, and I think the texture is probably made of paper pulp or something like that. It looks very soft. It looks like fibrous, and it kind of become luminous in this picture. The framing of the photo, the angle is really good as well. And so the depiction here is really interesting. It's very symbolic. The flower itself lifted off from the ground, so it feels like the foundation is also fragile. I really appreciate this idea of beauty in death or decay. It's almost like presenting the object as a symbol or as a ritualistic tool to remember. It is wonderful. So congratulations, Madeline. So the third category is School of Art Award, and this goes to Chris Wicker. It's a video piece called End Card, and what interests me so much about this video is this kind of like almost obsessive ability to compile hundreds and hundreds of TV ads, and I feel like it become like a really effective critique of capitalism. The sound, the repetition, the recurring pattern in the entire movie, the cadence of the narrator becomes like a gibberish mantra that appeared to be hollowed out through a condensed time and the repetition. This video specifically showed how bombarded we are with commercials, and it's probably happening a lot in a more subtle way right now with the social medias and YouTube and so on. But I think this video is great and effective for viewer to realize the underlying patterns and the intention of these certain institutions to actually kind of exploit your desire. So I think that's a really great video. So the fourth category is called Alumni Award, and this goes to Benjamin Loftus. The reason why I chose this work is because I like the transformation of materials used in the sculpture. Also, it's called Put Hair on Chest. So the title actually describes kind of like the imagery that would be in the viewer's mind when they look at these materials. I also really like the flashy tones in the wooden panels, the fishnet stockings, and the photograph in the background. So the wooden panel becomes like the presence of a body. And at first, when I saw this image, I feel there's a sense of flatness in the beginning, but then because the fishnet stockings kind of like stretch and kind of follow the form and kind of curved, you start to see the dimension and the tension between like materials that are soft and materials that are kind of hard. And then you're trying to peek through the screen of the fishnet stockings, and then you realize like there's a photograph in the background of a figure. There's an aspect of sentimentality that makes you want to look deeper. So congratulations. I think this is a really wonderful work. So the next category is College of Fine Arts Donors Award. This goes to Diana Tang. This photograph by Diana is really beautiful. It's called Chipped. What I really admire about this photograph, it's not just the simplicity, but also like how soothing it feels to look at the color. The gray is very beautiful, but also the fact that it makes me question what I'm looking at. So this photograph is not one-to-one. It's not like you're seeing what you're supposed to see, like an image or a figure, but it makes me wonder what happening in there. There's, even though it's simple, it's rich in detail. You see tire marks in the corner on the edges there. You're wondering what happened to that space. I feel like the contrast of color, the chipping paint in the middle that exposed the red underneath it's really subtle, but it's actually really beautiful as a focal point. I feel like my eyes can rest very easily in these photographs. There's almost like a history that happened in that detail or that material. And what I really like about this photograph also, that it feels like a painting. It feels like it's not flat. It has that subtle depth. There's edges that happen at the bottom and the middle of the photographs. So it has dimensionality, and it is like really beautiful. So congratulations, Diana. Okay, finally, there are 2 award recipients for the category of honorable mentions. The first person to receive it is Claudia Rodriguez. This work is called Roots. I really think the work is really beautiful, and it was done on tin foil, but the drawing itself, the line itself is very precise. It has a sense of confidence, and also using materials like a daily materials like tinfoil and transforming into a solid artwork is really wonderful. I like the depiction of the figure in the middle and how the flowers inside the basket become this dominating kind of element in the entire picture. I really appreciate the composition as well. It's very monumental. It's kind of like both like drawing, but it also has a sculptural elements to it. Congratulations, Claudia. Moving on to the second person to receive honorable mention. This work is by Brian Dixon Jr. It's called Brainstorm. I really like the way Brian captured expressions. I also really like the texture, how he uses materials. So the watercolor washes for the skin tones, for example, seem to be done wet on wet. So the colors kind of blended to each other, and you can see the richness of yellow, green, reddish brown, pink. It's just all goes together with the sense of light in this entire picture. Also, really love the use of pen to create an outline and to create a texture, especially for hair, for like the face. Some of the hair are rendered in a certain way that it looks like very much like an organic shape, like a tendrils or something that repeated again in the leaves and kind of a contour above the character's head. So I think this is a really great work, and I really love the use of washes, the luminosity of the color underneath. I do think like using watercolor is can be quite challenging, but I think this one is done in a very original way. So congratulations, Brian. That concludes our award recipients. Once again, make sure to check out the show at Texas Christian University's Artsy page to view the online exhibition. I'd like to thank you for having me as your juror. Stay safe and keep making art. The world needs it now more than ever.